You're good.
Yeah, okay, thank you very much. Welcome everyone to our meeting of March the 26th. I will call the meeting to order. Let's get with any changes to our agenda. Seeing none, we have a motion for minutes of the previous meeting, February the 20th, 2025. All in favor of the motion, no questions?
Oh, mover seconder.
Oh, sorry. Thought you were going to do that.
Okay, can we get a mover and a seconder?
Okay, Martin and second and Jim.
Okay.
Any questions or any reservation of the minutes? Seeing none, all in favor? Motion carried. Next, we have the items for discussion.
Oh, we'll do the election.
Oh, yeah.
Sure, I can take it from here. Thank
I
you.
want to just care. Maybe a change.
All right, so as per the board's governance bylaw, we elect a chair and a vice chair each year. So we'll proceed with the chair first. So I will now open the floor for nominations for the position of chair for the year 2025. Are there any nominations? Okay, is there a seconder for that nomination? Jim, thank you. All in favor? Carried. And Chair McGillis, I'll let you orchestrate the vice chair motion if you'd like.
Well, thank you. So you need, for a vice chair, you need a motion for that.
Yep, same process. Yep. Are there,
The last word, anybody wants to nominate for the vice? I'll nominate Jim. Okay. Second. Sorry.
all in favor?
Motion is carried. Thank you.
Great.
So, welcome, Mr. Vice Chair, to the meeting. I just want to thank everyone for supporting me again. I'll be here, I guess, for the next year and a half. And then, I'll be retiring. So I just want to say thanks to you for the confidence. Jim, did you want to say a few words?
Oh, I think it's.
I see Todd is there too. It's there saying even he's supporting, maybe he wasn't. So Todd Lones is sitting there on Zoom. So we'll continue our on the next item, it's item for discussions. And we have Mark. He's going to give us an overview of this, of the Community Safety and Policing Act and everything like that.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and congratulations on your re-election. Looking forward to working with you and working with you again.
Thank you very much.
Much a pleasure. So, Mr. Chair, through you and through the board, I know that the bylaws were updated with regards to some obligations that the board has with regards to assisting the detachment commander or evaluating the detachment commander, which has changed from the CSP. I realize that yourself and Jim were, as part of the previous detachment board, right? You had helped me form the last strategic action plan and had exercised your option under the Police Services Board to provide me with an evaluation. So as you are aware, those are now mandatory components. So for last year, just because of the rollout of the CSPA and some of the timelines that were associated, the OPP were given an exemption in crafting our strategic action plan, not just for the entire detachment, but regionally and detachment wise. By the time the rule came into effect, we were only left with 30 days. And the government could not provide us with any clear direction at that time as to what they should look like. So the OPP went back and they provided us that exemption. So the first portion will be the action planning, and so during the action planning, the main responsibility of the board will be similar to the last time we discussed. We'll really be bring forth to the detachment commander and in consultation with the board, what are the concerns of the community, and directly in the action plan, how do we measure our performance, right? How do we, as a detachment, how are we, measuring that performance, and how are we evaluating that performance? So the timelines the OPP has right now is they are still conducting, conducting consultations. So for reference, we appear to be the only board in the province that is fully operational, including the governmental appointments. So that is something that some of the other boards are struggling with. They don't want to get into any type of action plan with their detachment commanders until they have the full structure of their boards in place. They're also, many of them are still formulating the bylaws for their boards and updating them as per the CSPA. Also, some boards don't have any bylaws whatsoever because our structure was, essentially only slightly modified. We just had an advantage over everybody else, but it doesn't mean that we can't start to, wrap our heads around and start to think, and open our, consult with the community, right? What they see as priorities for the OPP in SDG and how they want to see those, resources to enhance community safety and community engagement. So as of right now, the timelines are looking like for April, May, they will be continuing with those consultations. In June, in July, that is when, if we don't have a regular meeting, we'll probably need to have a special meeting where specifically surrounding the action plan. So June, July would be when we would start to develop that action plan together based on the community priorities that you bring forward. The goal is for August and September for those to go to the commissioner. The commissioner would then come back down to you, Brian, and say, hey, I've reviewed this plan. It meets it aligns with the OPP's overall strategic plan. It also aligns with goals of CSPA and what you have brought forward. You would then, Brian, sign off on it finally with the commissioner himself. So the final sign off would not be coming from me or the regional chief. They would allow November and December because they must be posted there can't be a delay any longer in posting them in both official languages, French and English. So they must be posted at the same time. And then January 2026 would be the posting for that. So those are some approximate dates. I'm already being told that, again, because of some of the struggles some of the other boards are having, we're already potentially looking at all those days being pushed back about 30 days. That not including the review period. So it would only be for consultation. It would be, if they're going to shorten any period, it's going to be review. That the commissioner's command team will have to do that. So the detachment commander evaluation will actually be a living document, and part of it will actually have to do with that strategic plan. So it won't just have to do with, the communications that I provide the board and the consultations that I provide the board, but it will actually have to do with how, when we discuss the action plan and the goals that the board has helped develop for the detachment, how is the detachment commander communicating those goals, and how is he putting actual, the rubber to the road with regards to, getting these things done. Okay, it's great that we put this down on paper, we look great, but, the goals that we've set and how we're actually gonna do that, how is the detachment commander actually putting the rubber to the road to make those things happen? It is not necessarily based fully on stats, right? So, for example, if we use traffic safety as an example, I'm sure everybody I'm sure the board is acutely aware, we've had a bad couple of 2 weeks in counties. There are a multitude of factors, but the evaluation might be, based on what we put in the strategic plan. If that is a priority of the board, which they wish to focus on, it's not just about, well, are these things going down, but what strategies? The detachment commander and our detachment employee, and are they actually reasonable ones? Has the board been provided with a fulsome explanation, right? Or are we, some of the causal factors, maybe some things going into in camp where, some of the some of the causal factors that we discussed with camera might need to be discussed in camera to give the board a greater understanding of actually what we need to do. So that is the first portion. The rest, again, it will be a living document that the board will be able to access through a portal. All of the board members will have access to the portal. So, Mr. Chair, it will not just be on you or the vice chair to go in and to do this. You can actually do it throughout the course of the entire time. And it's very user friendly. There are drop downs, there are comment sections. So very, very easy, very user friendly. It auto saves, so you don't need to be, because it's on a portal, you don't need to be worried about, losing the information or anything like that. With the information wherever lost, that would fall on the OPP, not anybody. So they tried to really align it nicely to make sure everything lines up. So suggested timelines, and this is the part that they are still working out with the government. Would be that January, March would be the time. Obviously, we are at end of March, so not a realistic timeline, but this is what the ones they're trying to line up with the government. And I should just or go backwards. So the timelines they have developed are based on the calendar, not the Ontario government fiscal year, because my OPP evaluation is actually on the government fiscal year. So what that would do was, when the board completes its evaluation of the detachment commander, it allows the OPP 3 months and my command team to take that feedback and actually put it in my year-end evaluation as well. So it gives them 90 days to complete that as well. So the board's evaluation would be the calendar year, so January 1st to December 31st. The idea being January, March would be meeting with the chair and the co-chair. It is not the board, and setting the performance expectations that the board has set as a separate meeting outside of the detachment commander. June, July, there would be depending on when that meeting took place, June, July, or August, there would be a 6-month review with the detachment commander where the document would be reviewed. How are we doing? Where are you going? And then in December, there would be a time, Mr. Chair, where you would meet with the detachment commander and go over the final review. That would also be an opportunity for us to look at the strategic plan together as a whole. And once again, we could look again at that. Hey, are we, based on my evaluation, based on some of the things that come up in the evaluation, as we look at the next or the update to the strategic plan, further tweaks we need to make. Any questions about that, Mr. Chair, or
Jim?
Through the chair, and I think on council, we've had numerous opportunities to review strategic plans and their impact, and they're great in theory, but in reality, they take a long time to put those results down to numbers that you can actually measure. I guess my only comment would be is that I don't know that you're going to have a response that's significant in that, like we're talking a 12-month period. Is that my understanding of what you just said?
yeah, but it's a 3-year plan. So the plan, the strategic plan is done over 3 years.
Okay.
But there's a 12-month development period. Okay. And then the actual, and then yearly, there is a review of the action plan over the course of the 3 years with the board to look at not just the priorities the OPP have set, but the ones the board has set with the detachment commander, and do we need to make any tweaks anywhere within the action plan?
Okay, my misunderstanding. Okay,
my apologies for not explaining that.
Thank you, Jim. This took a while after this strategic plan is done. I'm going to another one here with the RSCA, but you're right. The municipality takes a long time to get all the things that were asked in the strategic plan to get accomplished. There's lots of things. So 3 years is a good one.
Yeah.
Should be that. Any other questions from Mark with regards to the action plan strategic? Go ahead.
Yeah, Martin, pretty new. Are we running on do we have a strategic plan now?
We do, yes, and I can provide more.
See.
Yeah, I can send it to Kim, I can send it back to Kim to, send through, but, yes, as I had mentioned, Mr. Chair and Jim were involved in the crafting of that plan, specifically some of the additional priorities that were added. When we did craft it, we knew we were in that transition from the PSA over to the CSPA. I believe that we would have had the opportunity to like at least have one review, but unfortunately that the government pulled the pin on the implementation of all the regulations within the CSPA. So that was last year where they said, yeah, we need to delay this because they're really interested in all the plans.
See Jennifer Cottrell, she, what part does she all play?
So Jennifer was unable, I should have said that Jennifer was unable to join us, Mr. Chair. She provided me a presentation that will be coming to the boards, and it will actually specifically show you the sections in the plan that will be the responsibility of the board. It will act, and then it will also show you the portal for the detachment commander evaluation and how each board member can access it and it needs to be used. Unfortunately, her superiors just put the brakes on things. With regards to that demonstration, the commissioners command team and commissioner just wanted to tweak the presentation a little bit after it was shown to me, and they just wanted to make sure that every board across the province got the same version. And then, as I mentioned, we're a little far ahead of everybody else, so we want to make sure they definitely did not want us to get any further.
Any other questions? Mark? Any questions?
All good, Mr. Chair.
Be great. So you said December will be the time that you're going to meet with me and the chair, the vice chair.
That's correct.
Come up with,
Yeah.
Any questions that the board has or whatever.
And you'll be given an advanced copy, like everybody will have advanced access to the portal to look at the evaluation, and through Mr. Chair, the board will have an opportunity to provide, because there is a free text free area where the board can come up with some of its own things. What they would like to add to the detachment community. There are some guidelines and some limits to what can be put in there, but there is some opportunity, not just, we've done this for you.
It sounds like things will work out and we'll land here.
Yeah.
So, any other questions for Mark this time? So is there anything else to add, Mark? Items?
No, Mr. Chair, I just would, through you, if any, I know that if anybody in the room, including CEO and the clerk and Todd, if anybody would like a tour of the building, I know that you've been here since the first shovel hit the ground, but if anybody's interested in just taking a quick tour of the building, I myself marvel every time I see the sign that this was built in 2010 and it's still in the pristine condition it's in, so.
Yeah, you've done an excellent job of keeping the building very aggressive, getting it that's good. So we can adjourn. We have some adjournment. Before I do, I just want to say that pass on our sentiments that acting commander was in your position, Simon Hardy, done a good job.
I absolutely will. Thank you for that.
And welcome back to the acting position that you left. So thank you very much.
Happy to be back.
We missed you too. Good. In fact, I hope everything went well with your the other thing that you were involved in.
Yeah, they did. They were excellent experiences. A little bit different in Renfrew. Their 7 municipalities were just being combined into a board. So guiding, I'm glad I had this board and the setup that we have, the relationships that we had and the setup we did, because it wasn't always my place. The chair of the board did lean on me a few times to, hey, how was your experience in SDG? How did you do it in SDG? So that helped guide them and, get them off and running.
Thank you. So we have a motion to adjourn.
To adjourn. Yeah, it's that the board adjourned to the call of the chair.
Favor?
Oh, we need a mover and
Oh,
second.
again.
Hmm.
Mover. Martin, second, or Jim. We can do that next time.
I'll do it all, yep,
Because that's what we thought. last
yes.